is my first Doctor Who review, and I'm incredibly excited. I just finished watching Rose about 20 minutes ago. I actually made notes. That's how much I'm doing for you guys. So as I said, I watched the episode Rose. I haven't watched this episode for probably 3 years, so it was really fun going back and rewatching it and just catching things that I hadn't caught before, and having a better understanding of Doctor Who as the show, understanding the characters, all of that stuff. It kind of gave me an entirely new appreciation for the episode, whereas the first time I watched it, I kind of looked at it and thought, oh my gosh, what is this? This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. So, for starters, the Doctor Who theme song. I get this overwhelming sense of joy when the Doctor Who theme song comes on. So when it came on, I felt it all over again. It was extremely nostalgic. It was just, I got really, really excited just hearing the theme song. So that was really, really great. Now, it amazes me the way in which the entire feel of the show, everything about it has changed so much in the last 7 or so years since they brought it back. Because the first show, it almost makes me think of those shows in the 90s that come on and at like 3:30 in the afternoon on PBS. And they're just weird and nobody really knows what the heck is going on. That's the feel I get from it. The effects were absolutely awful. And even the acting needed some work. It was just so funny. It was such an odd way for them to bring back the series, I feel. When you have such an iconic series, you would think that they would bring it back with one of the monsters or villains that have been well known from the beginning, such as the Cybermen or the Daleks. But instead, they bring up the Utans, the living plastic. I'm unaware whether or not they've used that before, back in the 60s, 70s, when Doctor Who was first around. I don't know if they ever used living plastic before the episode Rose. I've never heard of it. Of course, I haven't seen a lot of classic Who. So, one of the things that I noted was how cheesy everything was. It was just so unbelievably Velveeta that there were times where it was actually painful. You had these self-closing doors, which there was no explanation for that. I mean, the door was made out of metal, so it wasn't alive, so it wasn't closing itself. None of the living mannequins were over there to close it, so I have no clue how the door closed. That's a question that it's going to keep me up at night. I'm not going to be able to sleep. I'm going to be trying to figure out how in the hell that door closed. Anybody explain that to me? Probably not. Whatever. Moving on. So, one of my favorite things about Christopher Eccleston's Doctor, the Ninth Doctor, is the way he questions every single thing Rose says. One of the first points where I noticed that he did that was she said that the living mannequins, the living plastic forms of mannequins, I guess would be a better way to put that, she said that they had to have been students. Most people would just, whatever, let that go. But no, the Doctor goes, why students? Why would you say students? What makes you say that? You said it. You know why you said it, so why'd you say students? And then it's funny because now it's coming back to me. He does that a lot throughout his time as the Doctor. And I find that to just be really funny. And I like the way that he just kind of questions every single thing that they say. Meanwhile, he's also but probably my absolute favorite thing about Christopher Eccleston's character. He is so matter-of-fact all the time. Rose's, I believe it was her CEO, Wilson. She was trying to find him to give him the lottery money, and when her and the Doctor are talking, he asks her who Wilson is, and she told him, and he responded, oh, Wilson's dead. Just, throw that one out there. Just, Wilson's dead. Hope that's cool. I mean, whatever. No biggie. Don't worry about it. So I thought that was kind of funny. And then he's so blunt in everything he does. When he goes over to Rose's house and he sees her mom in her bathrobe, and, Jackie, Rose's mom, gets all flustered. And it's just, oh, I'm in my bathrobe alone with a strange man in my house. Anything could happen. Like, she wanted it to become some kind of really, really weird porn. And the doctor just flat out goes, no. And so that's seriously one of my absolute favorite things. And one thing that I never noticed when I watched it before, because when I first started watching it, I didn't fully understand regeneration or anything like that. So I never caught when he's complaining about his ears, and he just starts complaining about the way he looks and his ears and everything. And it was kind of fun. Now that I know more about the regeneration, and I know more about the way Time Lords work and the way the Doctor works, that scene, it just kind of struck me. It was kind of funny. And when he's going around looking at all of their stuff, and he points out that a political figure is actually an alien, which is funny because later on in the series we find out that she actually is. And then when he picks up, I believe it was The Lovely Bones, the book, and he just goes, oh, sad ending. It was just such a fun way to introduce the Doctor to the new generation of people watching Doctor Who, just to have these little slide in these little remarks, just to show how intelligent he is, how much he knows about Earth culture, how much he knows about many cultures. So that I thought was incredibly well done, and I'd never noticed it before I watched it today. So that was kind of fun. And then one thing that kind of made me chuckle is it's a running joke that every time the Doctor meets someone and he introduces himself as the Doctor, most of them will say, Doctor Who? Doctor Who? And that's the joke, because it's like, They did the thing where you say the name of the show, in the show, Yeah, no, so he introduces himself to Rose, and her response is, Doctor what? Like, Rose Tyler doesn't give a shit what show she's on. She may not even know what show she's on, because she thinks it's Doctor what? What are we gonna have next time? What are we gonna have? Are we gonna have, Dentist Y? Sorry, that was a really bad joke. I'm gonna stop trying to make jokes now. And another thing that I thought was really illogical and just generally funny, when Rose is on Mickey's computer and she's trying to figure out more about the Doctor, she just Googles the Doctor. Or no, even worse, she just Googles Doctor. What came up? A bunch of doctors, as in PhD doctors. Not, like, what did you think you were going to find, Rose? Really? What did you think you were going to find by typing in Doctor? You think you were going to find out about this crazy alien dude? No, you're going to find a bunch of doctors' offices. Jeez. I completely forgot about, I entirely forgot about Mickey becoming being kind of cloned or copied into living plastic. I totally forgot that happened, and it made me laugh so hard when she gets in the car. Number one, how did Rose not know that was Mickey? He was plastic. I'm sorry, plastic looks a whole hell of a lot different than skin. I don't know where she got off thinking that was actually Mickey. Especially when he pulls away and he can't drive. He's like, oh, I'm going to hit this trash can. Oh, I'm going to go to this side of the road. No. Rose, are you stupid? Are you stupid? Jesus. And then the part where he's pizza. That made me laugh too. And I just remembered the part where after the garbage can, because when Mickey becomes living plastic, he goes up to a garbage can and he touches it because it had been moving, and he was going to open it and figure out why it was moving, what was in there. Well, he ended up getting stuck to it because it was trying to pull him in so that it could make a copy to get to Rose, because the living plastic thought that Rose knew a lot about the Doctor. So it pulled Mickey into the trash can, and after he goes in, the trash can actually burps. And I thought that was just the most hysterical thing. I started cracking up. It's one of those things I don't know if I didn't notice it before, or if, I don't know, it cracked me up. I was seriously laughing so hard. It was great. And then, so after that happens, you have the Doctor come along, rip clone plastic Mickey's head off, and all this stuff, and Rose is wondering if her boyfriend is alive at this point. Which I don't know how, I don't know how she couldn't figure out that he was plastic, that it wasn't Mickey, because she's sitting across from him talking about her life, eating pizza, and he's sitting here going, babe, sweetheart, babe, babe, sugar, sweetheart, babe. And then he's asking all these questions about the doctor when before he couldn't give two craps about the doctor. He didn't even really know what it was. I don't know how she didn't pick up on that. It amazes me. I will never figure that one out. So, at this point, Rose thinks that her boyfriend is dead. What does the doctor do? Not give two craps. He completely forgot that Mickey might be dead. And, Rose is all pissed, and the doctor's all, oh yeah, might have just killed your boyfriend and ripped his head off. Sorry about that, Rose. Yep, not bad. And then proceeds to insult Rose's entire species by calling them apes. Just you stupid apes. Really, doctor? Really, you just killed my boyfriend. You might have just killed my boyfriend, and you're gonna proceed to call me an ape. Thanks, bud. Real smooth. You are good guy. Good guy. So they go, and they, everything is just going crazy. All these plastic things are coming to life. But before all that happens, the doctor goes to talk to the Nestine consciousness, which is like the divine power behind all of this plastic. And what this thing is trying to do is send out a signal that will bring anything plastic to life and be able to control it. So the doctor goes in, and Rose is ready to just toss the anti-plastic serum stuff, which really, anti-plastic serum, that's okay. I'm going to leave that one alone. She's ready to just toss it in and kill it and just be done. Just screw this, I'm done, I don't want the world to end by plastic. The doctor, meanwhile, says, you know what? I'm going to be a dick to you, Rose, even though you've been trying your best to help me and figure things out. I'm going to be a dick to you all the time, but you know what we're going to do? We're going to be really polite to the Nestine consciousness. Because that's how I roll. So he goes up and he's trying to talk to this being that's trying to take over the world. And I get it, that's the doctor's thing. Give everybody a second chance. Everybody has good inside. You just have to know how to talk to them, and blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm here to tell you that doesn't work out for him very well all the time. So, yeah, instead of just killing it and having it be done with, he talks to it, and next thing you know, he's being, withheld by these mannequins, and Rose and Mickey are flipping the hell out. Jackie's in a mall just standing there like this the entire time as all these mannequins are killing people and wreaking havoc on everything. It's freaking crazy, man. Freaking crazy. And then all of a sudden Rose is like, oh my gosh, you know what I can do? I don't have a job. I don't go to school. I don't have a future. But you know what I do have? I can climb on this chain rope thing, and I can fly around, I can kick some mannequins and knock the serum into the plastic to kill all the plastic and save the world. So, through her brain's quick thinking, Rose saves the world from the threat of living breast implants. The doctor's all, hey, you'll be wanting to come travel with me? Come on. You know you want to come, my little blue box. Girl, come on, let's go. And, Rose is all, oh, but I have my clingy boyfriend and my lack of career and my mother, so no can do, buddy. Sorry, I'm gonna head home now. And the doctor is just all sad. So he goes into his box, and it warps away. And then as Rose and Mickey are walking away, all of a sudden they hear warp, and it's back. And the doctor opens the door and is all, hey, yo, girl, you know this thing time travels? I can travel through space and time, girl. And Rose is all, yeah, see you, Mickey. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go into this little blue box with this strange alien guy. Yep, So you have a good life. I'll see you around. She just hops right on into that TARDIS and just warps away. Just warps on away from everything she loves. I am not a fan of this episode at all. I like it for the comedic value. I think it's hysterical. But it's a terrible episode, and I feel so it's an awful way to bring back the series. Looking back, it's great for people looking back who already know a lot about the series. It's good, because there's a lot of little things that they can catch on to. But for somebody who's never had an interest in Doctor Who, and this is the first episode they're gonna see, they're not gonna want to watch anymore, because it was just so incredibly outrageous. It was just, all this living plastic and just all these logical fallacies and just things that just don't fly and don't make any sense whatsoever. And don't get me wrong, a lot of Doctor Who doesn't make sense, but this is stuff that you just look at and go, what were you thinking? So, overall, if I had to give this episode a star rating of 1 through 5, I would give it a 2. Fortunately, the episodes get better as time goes on. Actually, the next episode is going to be pretty awesome, and oh my gosh, I cannot remember the name of the second episode in Series 1. Let me check that out. Okay, the second episode, I finally remembered what it was. It is The End of the World, and from what I remember, once again, it's been a long time, so I don't remember things extremely well. This is the episode where the Ninth Doctor takes Rose to see the end of the world, and it's often considered their first date amongst the fandom, which I always think is kind of funny, because, what better first date than taking your girl to go watch her planet get destroyed? I know that, warms my heart. Brings tears to my eyes. It's just so beautiful. So beautiful. So nonetheless, they're in the year 5 billion, and I believe this is the episode where we get introduced to Cassandra in the face of Bo. We'll get into that more later, but that's extremely exciting because they're recurring characters, and there's a really cool history behind the face of Bo. So we will get to that when the time comes. So I'm really, really excited to watch that and do my next video. Hopefully this one was somewhat enjoyable. I know it was mostly just me rambling and ranting, but nonetheless, I found it incredibly fun, so hopefully you did too. And I will see you next time with The End of the World.